We're back, and we're about to go inside the Chinese All-Stars versus World All-Stars Best of One Random Draft Showdown Smackdown. I'm LD, he's Luminous. Without any further ado, let's jump inside the game.
Valve, here's 3 cents, 2 cents. We need to see the hero pool in the random draft. It gets a lot less interesting when we don't know what they're picking from. There's a Lifestealer, Earthshaker, Horn Chieftain, or Elder Titan.
That International 3 invite might get rescinded.
We don't see it on the stream. Somebody
does not. Cal, we need to remove our draft overlay because we don't actually have one that's prepared for a random draft. So that production value at work. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I think we actually missed the memo that it's going to be random draft. But Lumi, well, I have no idea what's coming up next, but what do you think about the heroes coming out so far?
You know what? I think it disfavors Alliance in terms of just having random heroes.
Alliance? Is that what we're calling the Western team now?
Oh, Team USA, sorry. Because they could pick whatever the hell they want, and you know that Mushi is going to be... Oh, Mushi's got 4th pick, right? So he's got Skywrath Mage. Is this a solo Skywrath Mage?
Oh, interesting stuff. I mean, you look at this Radiant lineup, and they have not quite...
Ferrari's playing Invoker. I'm losing it right
430 Invoker.
Yes.
Are we going to see those patented 4-staff initiations?
I don't know. 4-staff's not that good anymore Invoker, but are we going to see a Mushi Skywrath versus Invoker Ferrari on the mid lane? That would be a matchup of all times.
That's going to be a tough matchup, I feel, for the Invoker. You don't have great base damage. You do have that regen, but Skywrath Mage with the silence can really blow you up. So we'll see. Looking like they don't really have the strongest lanes, though, right now on the Dire side. And, well, we should try to go ahead and properly introduce our players once they actually pick their heroes. They haven't tapped into the game yet, but on the side of, well, Team China, we've got YYF on the Night Stalker, Chuan on the Dazzle. I feel like he should maybe be on the World All-Stars as he is Malaysian, but he's here on the Chinese team. So, Xiao Wei going to be playing that support Sand King, B-God or Burning, as he's also known, on the Lifestealer. And last but not least, we'll have 430 on his signature Invoker. Lumi, is your body ready for this?
Yeah, it is. It seems like Team Liquid, or Team USA, sorry, I see Liquid tag, and it's just like, oh, Team Liquid. USA is not ready, as they don't really have their heroes on the map yet. Korok is going to be playing Elder Titan. This is my first time seeing how Elder Titan plays in a high-level game like this.
He's not even in Captain's mode yet.
He's not, so this is like...
This is a sneak peek.
Really, and what items do you go for? What skill build do you choose? Now we're going to see Korok will be playing it. S4 will be playing Earthshaker. You were guessing that he's going to be on the support roles. 5 random says Aki. Aki's going to be playing on support Viper. Maybe Mushi has a Skywrath Mage, and Loda, of course, will be playing Tiny. And the big question is...
Apparently Team USA, or the World Team, has actually randomed all 5 of their heroes while the Chinese were picking. Well, Lumi, now things get tough. They're sitting at the fountain. They looks like they want a remake. Not seen one just yet, so we'll continue to talk it out. Well, Ake on the Viper. I mean, what do you make of some of these hero selections?
They're not walking a lane, so I have no idea what's going on.
Are they forfeiting?
Well, Aki's bought somehow something. Are they going to be teleporting in lane? I mean, this is not what we expected out of our star team. Maybe they're still arguing who's going to play the 1 row.
It looks like, yeah, maybe the communication issues potentially an issue here. The Chinese admins, I guess they're saying suck it up since we don't see the players leaving the lanes just yet. Ake is going to teleport out to the middle lane, forced to buy a TP scroll off the bat just to get in it. Well, Lumi, this is not a good start for our Western All-Stars.
This is almost like a pub game, right? 4 people in the mid lane, 1 person teleporting in, says, I got mid. Nobody buys the chicken. Looks like everybody's finally out of the base. 3 minutes later, Liquid Korok decides he's going to go bot. We're going to see a TP up top, so it's going to be a defensive trial lane featuring Mushi. Says, I got boots first. I got arcane bolts. I'm going to get the farm. And Loda is still walking a lane. They're pinging each other. I wonder if Loda's going to get toss level 1 and just toss Mushi right there in the enemy team. I wouldn't put it past Loda, actually.
Yeah, so Mushi and Loda in the same lane, potentially going to be fighting for farm. We'll see if they give it to Loda. Who's going to be that alpha male, the carry player? That was one of the pregame discussion points. As for 430 on the bottom lane on this Invoker, he's going Exhort build, Lumi. So watch out. We could see some very aggressive ion cannons, orbital shots firing down soon.
Well, the top trialing here. Let's talk a little bit about this. Normally, if this is a trialing versus trialing, you just have to give the edge to the Chinese trialing, right? It's actually a legit lineup. Meanwhile, I guess Skywrath Mage support is okay, but he's not even gotten concussive shot. He's actually doing a very good job zoning, burning out of the lane, and he's gonna allow Loda to get this last hits.
Yeah, thing is, it's basically a quad lane when you throw Sunstrike in there as well. 430 does hit level 2. He's got access to it now. We look at this bottom lane matchup. This is actually where Elder Titan has been played a lot in the Chinese scene in Dota 1, or Torrent Chieftain, as he's known in Dota 1. As an offlaner, often in a 1v1, you can farm with the nuke pretty safely from a long range. So even though I think most people expect him to be a mid hero, he has been played a lot as an offlaner in Dota 1, and we're going to see it here. well, an interesting matchup. The one lane we haven't looked at, Lumi, it's YYF on the Night Stalker. Mid lane against Ake's Viper.
Well, Ake didn't have to block. He had to teleport in lane, so he's losing a ton of gold early on, but seems like he's doing quite okay. Nether Toxin's still very OP in terms of getting that last hit.
Here comes a hasted Xiao Wei. Chuan's going to be leading or following him from behind. Xiao Wei comes in, waits for the Burrow Strike, unloads, and this is going to be a sad and very dead Viper. Easy first blood for Team China.
Notice how Chuan uses Shadow Wave first because the Viper was next to a couple of creeps as well as a couple of heroes. He's going to do a ton more damage with the Shadow Wave, and then he used Poison Touch afterwards to secure the kill. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, I do want to talk about Elder Titan's laning ability in a 1v1 situation. As looks like he's going to take a little bit of harass. He's actually pretty legit in terms of damage output because the Astral Spirits give your hero a lot of damage as you hit creeps, and as well as Invoker with this. So Korok's able to match up against Exort Invoker in terms of damage output.
Korok's going to come around for a bit of a backstab here. He'll drop the Spirit, not going to be able to find the Stomp, and now he gets Cold Snap. Tries to man up on 430, taking a lot of damage. There could be a Sunstrike here. Is 430 going to go for the kill? Korok continues to drop low. He does have a salve, so unlikely to go for it, but... Well, Elder Titan is a melee hero, and while you're busy closing the gap, 430 is busy making you sad.
Top lane, Fissure is going to actually disengage, but they're going to open Wound into... Oh, where's the Sunstrike coming out? S4 slow, he's going to get brought down here by Sand King. Seems like the Chinese having better lanes, being able to really rotate better, being able to gank a lot better, and now the American Allstars are really falling behind.
They're losing the tri-lane. Both solos for the Chinese are dominating. Sure, the Western Allstars were very late to their lanes. They have some awkward heroes, but... I mean, this is a little bit worse than I thought it would be. A very slow start for them, a very fast start for the Chinese players. And where do you go from here? You have a solo mid Viper, not really the best mid-game tempo controller, and off-lane TC, who can do some work, but... or not Tauren Chieftain, rather. Elder Titan. I'm never going to get that name right. But, I mean, he's a decent kind of reactionary hero, not really the best at setting up ganks.
Yeah, also, I want to say that generally when you're behind, the best way to come back...
Oh, Sunstrike's coming in. Korok jukes away, but runs back into Cold Snap. He's low, but he will live.
Yeah, he's going to have to go all the way back to base. Ferrari does have his Tranquil Boots, and as well as Quas Orbs, as well as a Salve, so he's going to be absolutely fine. Speaking of which, Team USA on the top lane is going to smoke up and gank mid. This is exactly what you need to do if you're falling behind. My question is, they're going to run into Sand King. It's going to be Arcane Bolt. Fissure's going to follow through. Where's the Fissure? It could be a very good block. S4 is going to drop it. Arcane Bolt cooling down. Unfortunately, Skywrath Mage got no more mana left.
Just short of that Fissure block. Oh my goodness. If that's a Dota 1 Fissure, I think that's a kill there. But, well, in the end, able to get away, so the early boots on Xiao 8 paying off, allowing him to escape along with having a level 2 Burrow Strike.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, the supports here on the dire side is very low in terms of mana, so DK could, god damn it, the Chinese team could easily rotate off and get some kills. Are they going to go focus on Loda? Nothing just yet.
Xiao 8's coming in. They find Loda at the side shop. We had those over-under predictions, and it seems like Loda may go down here.
Nice toss.
Back away. Loda holding on for the time being. It's actually Xiao 8 who's dropping lowest of all. Loda, what a play. Tosses Xiao 8 back. Xiao 8 also was blocked away from that fight by great defensive Earthshaker play from S4 and Mushi zoning him out. That could have been a death, but so far Loda hasn't died yet. And
they're going to make another go on him. There's no more Fissure. There's also no more Open Wounds. Burrow Strike will hit. Sunstrike will follow through. And that's count number 1 of the Loda feed chart. Wow. Somebody's sharing the house here. That's for Loda dies. Over 7 or under 7?
Boom, shakalaka. Unfortunately for IG, 430 actually threw a or not for IG, for Team China. Now I'm doing it too. He threw in the Sunstrike top. If he still had it, probably could have killed Korok in the bottom lane, but didn't have the Cold Snap plus Sunstrike combo. He will soon. Actually, no, he's low on mana. So that's the one nice thing about your Exort Invoker when you have to play against him is switching between Cold Snap and using Sunstrike, which costs 200 mana. Very hard to actually be able to use both regularly. Meanwhile, middle lane, Xiao 8's rotated in, looking for a Burrow Strike initiation. They're going to find Ake. It's just hit nighttime. Oh, the timing, and oh, the pain for Ake. There's a Void available in 1 second. It'll go out now. S4 does TP in. He'll find the counter kill, but they force out a TP. They kill the enemy solo mid. A good trade there, and well, meanwhile, bottom lane, Loda's rotated.
Mid lane, they're going to dive in one more time here. S4 is going to be in big trouble. Drops a big Fissure. Chuan in a little bit of trouble. He has the haste screen. He's going to grave himself. S4 is going to be in a tiny bit. YYF wards a sec. He's got mana. Magic Wand, but...
Chuan, the jukes. He actually fogs Mushi. Mushi can't find the last killing blow, and he's going to get away. Chuan Dota, best Dota.
Yeah, Tron using that grave, tanking the entire wave. I thought YYF was going to get the kill. He had 3 or 4 Magic Wand charges. Unfortunately, very good juke out of S4 as well, going into the tree lines. I mean, it's doing good so far for the Chinese team because they have great lane, they have great heroes, but it's going to get a lot difficult for USA because a Night Stalker is on full gank mode now.
And now there's level 4 Exorts, so now the Sunstrikes are really going to hurt, and they have fantastic setup for that safe lane Invoker. This is where it gets hard, and off the bat, YYF's on the prowl. Often 430 playing that Night Stalker, but IG have multiple players who can. YYF known for his as well. He'll rotate bottom, looking for a kill. And I don't think Loda and Ake are going to be prepared for this. They will rotate a third hero here.
Yeah, the 3 Alliance member getting ready to set up a kill here against Invoker. Invoker fairly quick with his Tranquil Boots. Looks like toss in, and it's going to be Fissure. It's not going to block, but looks like, oh no, it's going to go into Invis mode. There is no dust available, and here comes Night Stalker. He wants S4, and it's going to be a free TPO coming in from Burning. So Burning gets a rep for a farming carry, but he's somewhat mobile early on, picking up that TP and setting up a kill for himself.
Meanwhile, Ake's trying to hoof it out of here, but Xiaoweight's going to spot him. No backup in sight. Burning on the prowl, like he said, with Phase Boots. They also have a Night Stalker. Even the Invoker with Tranquil Boots. These are pretty damn mobile heroes at this stage of the game. And you look at this Western team, they can easily get caught out. Any of these heroes gets caught, they just get blown up, and there's not a whole lot they can do about it. Loda, he's lurking. He's waiting for a kill. They're actually giving the levels in farm. They were giving some to the Skywrath Mage, but now Loda will be initiated upon. There's your Sunstrike. He jukes away, but he's going to take a lot of additional damage from the Night Stalker auto attacks. Loda on the run. In comes Burning. Can they bring him down? That Elder Titan ult is going to hit too. Slams them back down towards the ground. YYF still alive. Burrow Strike catches 2 from Xiaowei. The Fissure comes out as well. YYF bottles up. Will be able to live from that concussive shot. And that won't be enough to bring him down. Now Korok on the run. One by one, they all fall down. The Western All-Stars team is getting absolutely destroyed right now. They now trail by 4,000 gold, about 4,000 experience, and 9-2 on the kill count as well.
They were also trailing by a lot of E-Pride because they are just getting shredded on this lane. DK could easily, goddamn, the Chinese team could easily push into a tier 1. They are going to pushing into Earthshaker, trying to get a nice, what is that? Trying to block off creep wave?
Blocking off the creep wave, I guess, but it's actually going to make them still hit the enemy creeps, and then didn't get the full block. There's a little gap between the trees, but he'll slow down the push. They will back off, but I don't feel there's any sense of urgency right now. If you actually look at how this game's going to, if it goes later, Lumi, Loda's the one who can really take this late. And unfortunately, with his start, I just don't see him doing a whole lot. He's been roaming a lot. He's been ganking a lot. So I really think there's a whole lot of hurry for the Chinese All-Stars.
Yeah, and they're going to be in control in terms of tower advantage as well as the nighttime gank advantage. Seems like the IG supports, or IG Chuan is going to be focusing a little bit on getting himself his level up. He wants that level 6 very, very badly. And LGD, Xiaowei on the mid lane, looking for level 7 so while maxing that Burrow Strike. And again, they're not in a hurry to actually explode this game out of control, even though they're in firm domination so far. Looks like Night Stalker going up top to get some farm as well.
Here comes a smoke from Team West. They're going to head into the enemy
top
jungle.
Lane, though. They're going to go right here on Loda. Loda's getting a Sunstrike and double damage. YY says, welcome to China, Loda. As well, nice shoot here so far. Avalanche is going to hit, but the Urn is going to get the last stick of damage.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ake's going in as well. He's going to find out Burning, but he eats a cold snap to the face. He's dropping fast. In comes the Elder Titan stomp. Ake's still on the run. That stomp doesn't go through Magic Community, so Burning with Rage, able to find the kill. YYF is blocked away. These fissures from S4 have been fantastic. I feel they're pretty much the main thing that's keeping the West team even slightly in this game.
Yeah, Fissure, a really good defensive spell. Korok, of course, providing a ton of AoE with Astral Spirit into Stomp as well. The first ultimate, Earth Splitter, wasn't able to do too much damage or set up too many kills, simply because you have spells like Rage. You have a very mobile hero like Night Stalker and Invoker. So these AoE spells not really having the same potency that it normally would have. The rotation comes off, again, from the USA supports towards the mid lane, but it seems like wherever they go, they're just losing in terms of fights. They're losing in terms of farm.
I just want to point out that nobody is farming in this game. We're 10 minutes in, and the highest CS is 39. Xiaowei Burrow strikes in. Loda's on the chase, though, and now Xiaowei is going to TP out, but it's canceled by a toss. Nice reaction by Loda. Now Epicenter gets channeled. He'll run away. They're kiting Xiaowei. They'll bring him down, and they get a much-needed kill. A little bit greedy from Xiaowei there. Normally a pretty defensive player at this stage of the game on a 4 support. Gets picked off. They need more of that, Lumi. They need a lot more. And, well, as we transition towards the mid-game, what is your game plan if you're this Western team? You're behind, but the good news is nobody on this Chinese team is really farming that well, so they're not completely out of control.
I think you got to set up smoke ganks. Go for the easier kills, such as Chuan, such as the Invoker, and make sure that you don't find yourself a Night Stalker and Lifestealer, because you can't kill those. Speaking of Invoker, he's going full-on Midas mode. I love this. It's a great item pickup for Exhort Invoker. It gives you a ton of damage output just by right-click, but more importantly, that extra EXP that you gain from creep kills, so important in terms of accelerating him and getting that max Exhort Orbs. And let's see whether it's going to be effective. He is going to be somewhat weak in the next 5 minutes or so, but if he gets a quick Yule Scepter or a quick Axe Scepter, that's going to be a great time here.
I mean, he's had such a good start, and the Western team is so far behind. Sure, Invoker could be a little bit stronger now, but he's not even that weak. He is level 9. he'll have his double forward spirit really early. That's the huge thing about getting this Midas is you take the point in Wex, and look at this. Just muscling down the tier 1 bottom. There's no reaction from the Western squad. They were hoping that somebody would go on the top lane, trying to bait out a bad engagement from the Chinese. But the Chinese, they won't take the bait, Lumi. And this is just a lot of wasted time. You take a look at the levels. They have a level 4 Skywrath Mage. They're going to smoke in the middle of the river.
What is that smoke? That is a pub smoke.
Well, maybe communication a bit of an issue here. The Chinese are probably just scratching their heads like, is this for real? Well, just going to rotate all the way towards bottom. Sure, they smoked under a ward, but this is a very clowny and unconventional path they're going to take. Maybe it works. 430 says, well, I'd better go back to tower. Even if they get this kill, they are wasting so much time to do it.
Even if they find Invoker right now, kill him, it's just not worth the time they're investing. This is just a pub gang train, and so far it's not finding anybody. Invoker says, alright, I'll just TP to top where my friends are, and gonna go straight for a push. He is, still don't know what exactly the item is going to be buying. There is a courier coming in, just a bracer. Looks like somebody's going to be going for a quick drums, and the Chinese says, alright, we're going to just push your tier 1.
Yeah, and what can you really do when they're positioned under your tower like this? You look at the Western squad, they have great counter initiation, they have great tower defense, but only if they're set up. Elder Titan has to channel his stomp, Earthshaker has to cast Fissure, which has a long cast animation, can easily be disrupted by things like Burrow Strike, Cold Snap, and Silence. And aside from that, nobody else wants to TP into the tower. So if you let the Chinese players get under the tower, you just have to sack it. They're forced to sack the tier 1, they waste even more time, they fall, unfortunately, really far behind. All of a sudden, Lumi, it's a 10k gold lead, a 7,500 experience lead. The Chinese are rolling hard, defending their home turf so far.
Yeah, and it looks like they want to get a little bit more action. They don't have a sight behind the tier 2 tower, but they could easily dive for tier 1 tower, and it looks like they're going to focus on the mid tower. I just want to really quickly point out the net worth. Look at how imbalanced this net worth. The highest farm is Loda, and is getting out-farmed by a support Sand King. This is not where you want to be in any game, let alone one of these kind of a lot of pride games.
Have we ever seen Mushi not having 4-digit net worth at 14 minutes in? He's playing support. You can't really fault him too much after the way this game started.
He's playing Boots first support. I don't know. Maybe you can fault him. Looks like teleportation is going to come in the mid lane. That is going to be Loda. Everybody will TP back out, and this engage is happening again. So Chinese could easily go back in the jungle and keep on farming. Ferrari cycling through a couple of spells. He seems like he's going to be going for Yule Scepter. So
we haven't seen him go full pianist yet, though. For 430, his nickname in the Chinese scene is the pianist, and the reason is that he's very adept at moving those fingers quickly and efficiently. I can't wait until he gets more levels, until he starts really throwing out spells, and also particularly known for his 4-staff initiation. So, I mean, you mentioned Yule Scepter. That's normally the item you tend to get when you're going Exhort build, just because it sets up the Sunstrike, Deafening Blast, Meteor combo perfectly, but if he wants to go 4-staff, that's very easy initiation. You push Earthshaker in, he's just going to drop. And the same for a lot of these other heroes.
Korok right now is farming under the gaze of Observer Ward, and Xiaowei could just Burrow Strike in for an easy kill. And there's a free one. Xiaowei would take that. Thank you for the free Urn Charge and the neutral kill.
A good effort, but you're just not getting out in that position.
Yeah, I mean, like, you expect your jungle to be warded at this point in the game, and I'm not sure whether Team USA was ready for what they signed up for. Maybe they were, hustling. Maybe they were kind of talking about what role they play, and suddenly they ran them 5 heroes, and they didn't even know what to do. They were looking for a remake, and the creeps are spawning. They have the TP in. It's a good effort considering how disarray everything started was, and I gotta give them credit for so far not really losing their Raxes just yet. You could easily lose your Rax by now.
Well, if not now, though, it may come soon. To be fair, this Radiant lineup doesn't really have the best lineup to end the game that quickly. They see Xiaowei mid, they want to go on him. They can't get in range, though. They don't have a lone druid. They have a lifestealer, but Burning isn't particularly farmed, so just directly sieging and blowing up the base takes a little longer. You want your double forward spirits. You want things maybe like a mechanism. I mean, this is even a game where, your Night Stalker could build towards one, or a BKB on him, and looks like YYF's going Armlet. Certainly a suitable choice, so this game looks like it'll drag on for a while, but if the Chinese play it properly, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't made a single mistake, right? Their rotations are solid, the warding is good, and so far they're farming decently as well. Invoker farming his own jungle. It is going to be a 4-staff, so and you love that one. So back in the mid lane, tossing Xiaowei in. They're going to grave Xiaowei so far, and the worst is Earthsplitter coming in. They're going to burn down Xiaowei. Xiaowei
still alive. He's going to live. There comes the Torn Chieftain.
Bam!
Blows him up. Oh boy, there's your, excuse me, not Torn Chieftain, Elder Titan ultimate. I'll work on getting that one right.
But here comes Burning. He sees Mushi, and Mushi's gonna take a lot of
damage.
Nice toss back here by Loda. Loda, nice body blocking as well. He's really playing for his team. What a play, but he's gonna eat himself a huge meatball as well as a Deafening Blast. They want a little bit more. Loda's gonna be dead. That's his 4th death for the people that are keeping track at home. S4 TV's back in, and Burning says, thank you for the free mutton meat as I just burn you up. Korok's on the run as well. He's silenced. Force that forward for YYF. Where's the Void? It's going to be cooling out in a couple of seconds. Oh, there you go.
Boom. Shakalaka. The Chinese just overwhelming the Western squad here. And I mean, Lumi, it's like I said, once they get on you, there's just not much you can do. You try to cast a Fissure, Burning Rages, YYF silences you, you get Cold Snap, you get Burrow Strike. These fights snowball, and they snowball hard. It's a very immobile and reactionary lineup for the most part. I do want to credit Loda. Sure, he's dying a lot. These tosses have been godly. If the game was remotely close, could have completely turned the tides, but unfortunately, it's not.
Yeah, they're also using toss as an initiation tool. We saw the gank on the bot lane. We just saw the initiation on the mid lane. For your Earthshaker who doesn't have Blink, that's a freebie there, so that's not that bad. Also, they could initiate with the Elder Titan as well, or follow up with initiation with Elder Titan. It's pretty good for a decent random lineup, I gotta say. They had okay lanes as well.
One nice thing about having Elder Titan as well is natural order. As the game goes later and you level this up, you don't need that many items to hit incredibly hard, because if you're close to the enemy team, it does have a very low radius, but if you end up getting in the thick of things, it reduces armor as well as resistances massively. This means that every spell, every auto attack you throw out is amplified, and amplified a lot. That's what you want against these tanky heroes. So simply because they have that natural order later on this game, I would say they have a tiny sliver of a chance, but that's really all it is.
I see what you did there. Satiny and his team is going to go into the pit and try to steal one. They smoked in there and should actually get it there, although there is an Observer Ward. I'm not too sure whether that Observer Ward scouted the Illusion Room being taken out, but so far so good here for Team USA, but they just don't have the damage. There's a ping goes on. Chuan realized what's going on, and now they're so low, and here comes the conversion. Sentry Ward gets dropped down. The Force Spirit are coming right in.
This is a really bad spot to get caught. If 430 drops the Deafening Blast, the Meteor on top of you, you are just going to explode. So wisely, they'll back out for the time being. Roche sitting at about 2/3 HP. I don't think the Chinese need to go for this. They can just push in the lanes, draw our Western All-Stars back, and then take it when they're good and ready. So right now, you just see that starvation Dota. You get ahead, you control the map, you get the wards up, you farm the enemy jungle, you don't let them sneak a Roche, you keep the lanes pushed in, and it really hampers and limits what our Western All-Stars can do.
Right now, I'm checking Ferrari gold. He's up to 2,000 gold. He's next to the side shop. I just want him to see
Blink Dagger.
Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger, 4-staff Invoker. This is a good old Invoker from Ferrari. And
he's got it now, and I think Dendi will be very pleased if he is watching, if 430 goes for that, but doesn't for the time being. We'll see if he goes back for it later. Burning has an Armlet. We're seeing a lot of big item pickups come out now for IG. Armlet up on YYF as well. These Bash Bros are really going to hurt. That's so much DPS, and you throw Exhort Invoker on top of it. Even things like Shadow Wave really hurt. We saw that in the earlier ganks.
Quickly doing a smoke check, IG or Team China has 2 smokes left, and Team USA have 0. And generally when you're down and behind, this is probably the best way to make that comeback. Invoker is going to be going for the lack of crowd pleasing. It's going to be going for the good item, the Axe Scepter.
430, you disappoint me.
He might have that pianist move later on, so
it allows him to stay alive longer and use more spells in the fights once he completes it. So I'm okay with it. But I want to see that flashy Invoker. Get your Blink Dagger, get your Yule Scepter, get all the active items, and then use all your active spells constantly as well. We'll see if the game goes long enough for him to do it. For the time being, just not much the Western All-Stars could do. Burning's going to posture in here. He's going full YYF. He's now building the Yasha as well. Blink Dagger picked up on Xiaowei. That's a 20-minute blink on a roaming support Sand King. Pretty darn fast. Chuan, well, he's going Veil of Discord, it looks like, with a Helm of Iron Will, and that's going to make this epicenter rather interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he goes Armlet too. Actually, we've seen Dendi do that on the solo mid, his solo mid Dazzle once in the past. So could be a triple Armlet for the Chinese All Stars as well.
Looks like no freebie here for you guys. As Xiaowei's going to TP in and cancels. They're going to chase on S4 as well. It looks like the Feast a little bit early. Aki says, "See you out of there." S4 says, "No, I'm going to TP out with the Fissure as well." But the Void will find him and he will get picked off. Just look, they're up by how much gold? 15,000, 17,000, and they're not going to give away a tier 1 tower.
Apparently randoming all your heroes against a world-class all-star lineup of Chinese pros and showing up to your lanes a good minute late has an effect. And on top of that, great play from the Chinese, but that's not helping.
Great play from the Chinese, probably doing a lot of the work as well. And right now we look at farm, and there isn't any. Korok has a Bracer. He's looking for treads. Aki's going for a Hood. Mushi's got he's got a Tango. We're 22 minutes in, guys.
He's got
Magic
6
Stick
CS. At this point in an average... Oh, blink in. Burrow Strike's going to catch out 3. Now Mushi in trouble. Does deploy his ultimate. It barely even tickles YYF, and that was the majority of the ult from the Skywrath Mage. That thing normally hurts and hurts a lot. In comes Burning. Diving the high ground, hunting for a courier, but instead they'll find Ake, and Ake is going to go down. Used to this happening a lot on that support role, but for your solo mid Viper to be dying that easy and the shadow of your base, that's not so good.
Low dive feed check, 0-4.
I don't think it's fair to call it feed, but yeah, he's only sitting at 4 deaths. I mean, maybe he saw the stream and he's saying, well, we may lose this game, I'm going to hit the under.
Yeah, we'll see whether he can, because here comes DK as well as the rest of the Chinese working on that tier 2, tier 3 in trouble as well. Tier 3 would be in trouble if they want to push for it. Are they going to go back and swing for the Roshan pit? This is so meticulous. They're still up by a lot of gold. Now it looks like they're doing a little bit of secret shopping. And here comes the push.
The Chinese national honor is at stake here. We saw all the flags come down. The fans were excited. You know they want to put on a show and exert their muscles, show that classic Chinese dominance that has been the story of the past few years when it comes to these international tournaments. But, I mean, of course, this is only our warm-up, our initial course, our appetizer for the buffet of main event matches scheduled to come up after this. Now we see Burning along with his squad, slowly but surely sieging. In comes Xiao 8, a Blake, a Burrow Strike, and then the follow-up. They toss in Earthshaker, drops out the Echo Slam. Now the Fissure to follow as well, but a great Shallow Grave from Chuan keeps him alive through it all. He slept, he's gonna live, Loda gonna drop, and now they're gonna just get face rolled. A Blink, a Burrow on 2, Xiao 8 Dota, Korok on the run. Can he get away? He can't. It's a team wipe. And I think, Lumi, our Western All-Stars are going down.
Maybe they will tap out on the GG, maybe they'll keep playing, but whether or not they will definitely lose a Rax. These Blink Burrow Strikes are just so good. It was a 3-man initiation on the mid lane earlier to take down the tier 2. Now a 2-man close game, says Mushi. Are you going to call the G? Somebody's typing Russian. I'm not even sure what that means. But, okay.
I'm having flashbacks to that one game I cast where there was a Russian observer and he just wouldn't stop talking in all chat the entire game. But so far, only a few things being said. So, well, Mushi, it wasn't a very close game. We got to agree with you there. A Blake, a Burrow Strike. Here comes the Meteor from 430. He's out of invokes for the time being. It really does not matter.
Found farm time.
Alliance being farmed, and the Chinese All-Stars, Lumi, now it's time to have some fun.
Oh, where's the Dagons? Where's the Veil of Discord career?
There's 3 IG players. I'm very disappointed.
I know. I guess they're taking this more seriously than the actual G1 League. I'm pretty sure there needs to be a Dagon in this game, or it won't be a show match.
This is not a show match. This is like national pride, man. They really want to take this and do it convincingly, and they looks like they'll be going for the sub 30-minute GG. CG out the tower here. The Western All-Stars, well, they gave it a good shot, all things considered, but just not a whole lot you can do when you random all your heroes and they play this well. S4 blown up on the backlines, Burning is godlike. Hell, the whole team might as well be another Blake by Xiaowei. Then Loda tosses Korok into the fray, and Korok is probably thinking, oh no, don't throw me away, I love you, Korok. And now, or Loda rather, and YYF, well, he gets Viper struck on the run, 430, finding kills on the backlines. Now Ake, a Blink and a Burrow, hold him in position, but they can't bring him down. They're farming them at the fountain. I think it's safe to tap out now.
Well, maybe not. They're going to still go for maybe a single kill. Maybe Loda's trying to kill his allies as he's doing some now a little bit dubious tosses on his allies into it.
The earlier ones were good. Now Loda's just trolling.
Now he definitely is. So they're still camping their fountains. Are they going to make a last final stand?
S4 is saying, I wish I could disable help that. Stop tossing me. One of the few things you actually can't disable help. So, LGD, oh, not LGD, Team China, they take it 2 lanes of Rax Lumi. It looks like they are going to be taking a very convincing toss ES come. Feed him to me. Chuan is hungry. He wants a snack. Loda's like, well, I'll give you one. It's a piece. It's not a piece of mutton. It's a piece of rawhide, a piece of cow. A tough meal, to be sure, with some wood strapped to his back, but Loda's hunting S4. He tosses him in. Where's that Echo Slam? It comes out now. Chuan was waiting for this. Graves himself. Stays alive, and now they're going to armlet toggle their way to safety. YYF able to get on out of there. Loda now on the run back to the fountain. Burning giving chase. That's an angry ghoul. They don't kill him off. They'll go instead for Korok, who 1 by 1 is just getting caught out of position. These Western All-Stars, they'll lose another. It's a sad showing, Lumi. Good news is it's only a show match. It's only for fun. This doesn't mean a whole lot, but it has been very enjoyable in spite of that. Another 2-hero Burrow Strike. Xiao 8. If I've been impressed by 2 players this game, sure, it's a show match, but Xiao 8 Sand King and then S4's Earthshaker. I thought these 2 played really well.
Yeah, and unfortunately S4 is getting, I guess, the shorter end of the stick. He's really being forced to initiate. Also, very interesting, doesn't have a point of Enchant Totem. I guess it's, to be fair, you're not going to survive even long enough to use that Enchant Totem, so hey. But, and now he's buying couriers. This is what we want to see.
Where's that baby seal courier that Maruna was talking about? I want to see an Ogre Magi clubbing some baby seals. Valve stamp of approval on that, but we won't see it yet. We'll just see some poor little dragons dying. Merlini's very sad right now over at the analyst desk. He likes dragons.
No, he's waiting for the 7 kill on Loda, but Loda's still in the safety of the fountain. Are they going to dive? The game ends.
Loda dodges the bullet.
He did.
Unable
Under.
to kill him 7 times, so the unders will prevail.
Yes, he
Which
will.
means I guess I owe you guys some shots a little bit later.
Well, there's no alcohol involved, I thought.
Okay, well, not for you.
Not for me.
Not for Lumi. He can't handle his alcohol. He's Asian after all. Guys,
Wow, what a flame.
your Western All-Star, Chinese All-Star showdown. Not quite as close or epic as maybe we hoped for, but certainly an entertaining way to start the day. Lumi, any final thoughts? Anything that sticks out to you after watching this game?
Try to get in lane before the creep spawns and try to have some good blocks.
And don't buy TP scrolls at level 1.
Don't buy TP scrolls, and maybe don't go AFK during your RD mode. Don't go AFK when this game starts. When you hit accept, you actually says, all right, I'm here, and play the game.
You actually says it.
Yeah.
Indeed you do. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for the All-Stars match, but that's only the start of today's action. We have some great main event matches coming up right after this. But, analysts, closing thoughts on the All-Stars match? Anything that sticks out to you?
Yeah, it seems like not just getting to lane before the minute, they actually need to get into the booth to begin the match. They were, I mean, I don't know. They weren't in their booth. They weren't ready to get things underway, and they paid the price.
I'm going to pay the price, too.
Yeah, you are.
Loda, you disappoint.
Or it depends how you look at it. He did create some new meaning to the phrase "Loda throws" at the end with some good ally kills there. It was very impressive play, all in all. But I mean, yeah,
Disappointing showing by the West.
I don't know if you can really say disappointing showing.
You can't really blame them, but it was disappointing how the match
I know
turned
a lot
out.
of fans out there are saying that. I think if you had a proper CM, or even a nice, you could do RD, but if you had a proper draft versus draft, both teams had a well-rounded lineup. The other issue was they couldn't actually swap heroes. Mushi laning with Loda. That's recipe for disaster.
I mean, Mushi he tried to do his job. He did go boots first on support. I thought he zoned them out okay, all things considered.
Mushi was supporting fine. He was buying smokes. He was buying wards. He was trying to gank mid. And
You know he was doing it with gritted teeth, though.
Yeah,
he was
like,
not
oh
happy
my
about
God.
that.
It's like, Loda, you're missing more CS than I will ever miss with my left hand playing Dota.
And I'm sure Loda would have said the exact same thing if Mushi was
Exactly,
the carry
so-
role. So.
It was an interesting game.
It was fun, though.
Yeah, it was really, really fun.
I enjoyed it. I hope we get to see more All-Star. This gets me excited for the International 3 if we get to see that 1v1 tournament.
Sure,
I know
yeah.
that's one of the compendium goals, so by the way, if you haven't bought a compendium yet, you should go buy one.
We are going to have an All-Star match in the, I think, right? Has it been confirmed? Or you have to get to
The All-Star match is already confirmed, but then you get to see the 1v1 tournament as well, so just
Okay,
another kind
okay.
of fun, show matchy type of thing.
Well, we know who to vote for in these All-Star matches coming up as well.
All Chinese?
I don't know. I have Aoi on my Western carry.
Well,
also,
it's
so-
more who you want to see for
Yeah,
those
really.
games, and less like who you think are the best players. I mean, for me, I kind of want to see some like clowny team with, I don't know, just like a bunch of players who don't speak, like Russian players, Malaysian players, U.S. players, and then you can mix up some Chinese as well, so nobody can understand each other.
Yeah, and then they just play random Dota. RD might actually be a good mode for that, right? Because
Yeah.
you actually have a little bit of time to kind of plan out what you want to pick and what you.
But it's not a long, serious captain's vote
right,
draft.
right.
All I gotta say is I've got NS, the Russian captain, captaining a bunch of Chinese players. So we're gonna see how that goes down if I get my way. But guys, that concludes our All-Star match, the Chinese versus World All-Stars. We'll take a quick look at the schedule as far as what's coming up next with the rest of today. You can see here that our first actual match is going to be Alliance versus Team DK. We don't have a specific schedule. Stuff is just going to keep on coming as it comes. This is just our sort of guesstimations. That's going to be up in probably about 10-15 minutes time. Then we've got Orange versus Team Liquid. Then following that, we have IG up against LGD China. That's going to be our first round one matches, each team with one match. And yeah, I mean, looking forward to a fantastic day of events. We're really just going to start getting things properly kicked off now that we get into the actual tournament.
Yep, should be exciting. RD's a nice change of pace, though.
Yeah, I think it's a good mode. It's just
Why did they put
unfortunate-
Aki mid?
Well, they couldn't swap heroes.
they
I
couldn't?
think they wanted Viper mid and Skywrath support. The problem is they couldn't actually swap heroes. Either they got to the game too late, or I don't know if swap is actually in RD.
Swap.
You can swap in RD.
Yeah,
okay.
you can.
Someone was tweeting that the players couldn't actually swap heroes. So I'm not sure whether that was
I know Lifeslayer was
limitation.
first drafted, and Xiao A got Sanking at the end eventually. So
okay.
yeah, so you definitely could swap heroes in RD.
Yeah, we were talking about how it was going to be like Mushi versus Korok, trying to vie for a middle. But
Yeah.
seeing Aki
So
there.
much for that.
So much for that.
So much for that, guys. But that is going to be it for our opening match, the All-Star match. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be live with our first match of today. It's going to be the Westerners, the Challengers Alliance, up against Team DK of China, otherwise known as Team Burn.